Hello, myself Kirtana. Today I'm here to explain about the environmental management objective. The effective environmental management, it's mainly focuses on protecting the nature and preserving the nature for the future generation. This can be done by implementing the strategies to aim towards the minimizing the ecological impacts and to contribute more on the health of the plants. Moving to the definition or how the environmental management is defined. So it has some of the laws, that is environmental laws to be followed. That is regulatory complaints like implementing environmental laws and regulations to mitigate the legal risk and demonstrate the social responsibilities. So second is the resource optimization, the making use of the natural resources in a good way, that the natural resources such as energy, water and raw materials can be made use in a good way to reduce the waste and the environmental footprints. Moving to the pollution prevention, so implementing the measures to minimize the harmful substance entering to the water, air, and soil, which is being released by the factories and the industries. Moving to the importance of the environmental management is environmental protection, safeguarding the nature, safeguarding our ecosystem, biodiversity, and habitats for the future generation and to the present generations too. And cost saving is reducing the usage of the energy consumptions and the waste disposal can regulate the penalties in which a finance will be increased and it will be benefited. So stakeholders engagement is like involving in the environmental activities in the societies, like demonstrating the environmental responsibilities can enhance the public trust and the organization's reputations too. Moving on to the sustainable resources utilizations, it has a renewable energy, circular economy, sustainable soaring, and green building. So, renewable energy is a sustainable energy which like solar, wind, and hydropower, which is used to reduce the usage of the fossil fuels. So, circular economy mainly focuses on the three R's, that is repair, recycle, and reuse. So, minimizing the waste by making use of these three R's to keep the resources in a circulation form for the longer period as possible. So, sustainable soaring is in this we are giving a prioritizing the eco-friendly, renewable, and raw materials and their supplies. So, green building is a construction of a energy efficient, sustainable buildings that minimizes the environmental impacts. Moving to the energy efficiency and conservation is a first is light upgrade, replacing the traditional lights into by LED bulbs or a CFL bulbs. So climate control is implementing a programmable thermostats and increasing or improving installation to optimize the heating and the cooling system. So equipment upgrade is replacing the old inefficient appliances and electronics with a start certified models. Renewable energy is making use of renewable resources such as solar panels and the wind turbines. As we discussed the three R's, let us know how they are reduced and recycled. That is how the waste is reduced and recycled to minimize the certain pollutants or the waste, which is done by a circulation or the cycling process, like reduce, reuse, and the recycle. So reduce is to minimize the waste generated through an effective process and informed purchasing decisions. So reuse is making use of the resources again or the waste, that is bio waste. Recycle is implementing a comprehensive recycling program to divert waste from landfills. Moving to the water resource management, it mainly focuses on the three factors: conservation, recycling, and restoration. So, conservation is conserving the water from the consumption, like by implementing the uh, water efficient practice like low water fixtures and water wise landscaping to reduce the consumptions. So, recycling is reusing the water for the betterment or for the future by the such as for the irrigations and the industrial process. So restoration is the protecting the water and restoring the water resources, natural water resources like river, lakes, and the wetlands. Let us move on to the ecosystem protection and the restoration. Now, first is biodiversity conservation. In biodiversity conservation is mainly focuses on the protection of the habitats and preventing the deforestation and protecting the ecosystem. So habitat restoration is implementing the reforestation, wetland rehabilitations, etc. So environmental advocacy is involving the community, involving in the policy advocacy to promote the environmental stewardship. Moving on to the environmental complaints and regulations. In environmental complaints and regulations, focuses on the regulatory complaint that is adhered to local, national, and international laws, that is environmental laws, and regulatory to avoid legal penalties. Moving to the environmental audits, it regulates the access of the operations to identify and address any non-complaints or the environmental risk. Stakeholders engagement is collaborating with regulatory bodies, industrial associations, and any local community to ensure the environment accountabilities. The continuous improvement is a regular updating or reviewing of the environmental management or the maintenance and its purpose for the further regulations.